Hello and welcome to the Lacrosse Show's NLL Top 9. We have put together an audacious Top 9. It's audacious. There's no question about it. And we're going to be running through it with you guys. We're really excited. Tonight we're going to kick it off with our number 9 team. Mark and I, we're in agreement on this one. Let's get a little drum roll.
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Yeah, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be the Philadelphia Wings. Wings fans are hating it, but it might be the reality of the situation. Last year they finished 7-9, 5-4 in conference. They had 170 goals for, 207 goals against. 270 would have been awful, but 207 not too bad. That's actually kind of a league average when you look at it. I mean, these guys made some moves, but there could be some question marks. Mark, what do you think about the Philadelphia Wings' chances in 2014? You had them at number 9. I had them at number 9. What's going on here?
I think we had them at number 9 for the same reason, that they're just too in flux right now, especially when we saw the rumor and what people have started to hear from some of the more prominent American players, which is that they might not be playing or actually won't be playing. They won't be going to training camp and won't be playing NLL this year in preparation for the U.S. team this summer and also having strong, long MLL careers. And some of these guys are facing real injuries. Like, let's get real. I mean, Paul Rabel had a hernia. Max Seabald has had a pretty serious ankle problem. So, if they're going to make that move, that's fine. But honestly, that really hurts the Wings because, as you and I talked about last year in discussing the preview for that season, we called them the American Wings. And if the best American players, and even including Mundorf, I'm leaving him out, and who knows if the list goes on and on. But if they're missing those guys, they're missing the whole team. So I think that's going to be a real problem. That being said, I really like some of the moves they made this offseason. A big one for them, probably the biggest move they made, was going out and getting Evan Kirk from Minnesota to be a backup in there. That's something they've really needed. Brandon Miller's really been working his butt off time after time, and they haven't had a capable backup. And the NLL has shown that you need that. You have to have a guy that you can go to when times get tough, or the goalie needs a break. And Evan Kirk is actually the perfect guy for them because they played together on the Six Nations team this summer. That ended up winning it all in the Mann Cup. And that's anytime you have a duo that can play together all year round, I think it's nothing but good things for them. What do you see for the Wings in 2014?
I mean, they're signing some interesting younger guys. I'd like to see a guy like Ethan Farrell get more run. I think he can produce consistently in the NLL, and it looks like this may be the year where he gets a chance to do that. So, I'm excited for that. Ryan Hoteling is back.
Yeah. That's a good move, too.
It's a good move. He's another guy that I think has some potential. They've got Koleski. Yeah, McGlone is there. They've got some players, and for me, you hit on it right away, is the flux period. And it's just tough when you have so many guys leaving the team and replacing with new guys. The fact that those guys are very talented doesn't necessarily matter in year one. You're really trying to build something. So, for me, that's a big determining factor. You're losing some of the core. You've got some guys back like Kyle Sweeney. They're going to provide stability. I don't think it's totally going to be, thrown off the train. I don't think that's an issue for Philly. But I think scoring was a little bit of a problem for them last year, averaging just above 10 goals a game. During the regular season, at least, and I don't see that necessarily changing this year. So,
well, you know what?
Yeah, for me, they're still a bottom feeder, unfortunately.
Yeah, they are a bottom feeder, but we talked about them as the American Wings. This year, they're going to have so much more of a Canadian identity. As I'm looking through who their offense is going to be, it's possible that it could be better because it's just so much more Canadian. And I hate to say that, but it might be true. They went out and got Ryan Ward. Great free agent signing that they just made. I think he's going to be huge. Don't forget about Kevin Crowley, guys like Jordan Hall, capable players. Not to mention Tracy Kaluski, who you brought up, a guy who I think could be poised to be a good addition to Philly, a good setup guy, a good glue guy. He doesn't even have to be in a position to do everything, and being an older player like he is, that's a great place for him to be. So I think they do have potential on offense, but the big issue for everybody is they're in flux. Who knows what their real roster is going to look like? But they do have some nice pieces in place. I think you'd agree.
No question. I think they've also shown a great ability to take risks in the past. They brought in some guys who really have panned out. who other teams may not have considered. So, I think that they're very willing to do that. They're pretty creative, and I think that they're going to be competitive again all year. But it really is, can you stack up the wins? And I don't see that Philly has all the pieces that some of the other teams do in order to do that. It really comes down to that. I mean, all the teams in the NLL, we were joking before this, preseason picks are so hard because there's so much talent, and it's spread. It really is spread pretty evenly amongst those teams. So it's not a surprise when you look at the rosters from last year, that the records from last year, that nobody necessarily stands out all that much. You've only got 9 teams, and there's certainly more than 9 teams worth of talent.
Oh, for sure, especially now where you have the roster elimination. I mean, goodness, you're talking about culling the field even more. One thing I do want to bring up for the Wings that I think is going to be a great event, and hopefully something that maybe they can take some of this guy's ethos, his mantra, and really embody that this season. Is they're doing I think it's a jersey retiring for Jake Berge, arguably the best American box lacrosse player. One of the best. I think this year he's getting his number retired. So maybe that's a rallying point for them, and they can use that to catapult.
There you go. Look at it on the positive side. I like that. Way to place a little positive spin on that number 9 seed preseason. It doesn't count for all that much. Anyways, we will be back tomorrow revealing our number 8 team. It's exciting. Get excited. The NLL, 8 days away. I'm excited. You're excited. How can you not be? I've been fiending now that all this NHL is on. I need my NLL.
That's right.
All right. Tune into the Lacrosse Network all season long for more NLL coverage. We got you covered.